from my deep underground compound in beautiful Gig Harbor, Washington. From the Pacific to Atlantic to you worldwide. Good evening or morning, depending on your time zone. This is Gary. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio. Get yourself an easy chair. Next to the fire, get a nice cup of Java. Let's go for a ride in the universe of UFOs.
Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creachbaum. Now, the latest news.
This is Night Dreams Talk Radio Network News. I'm James Creachbaum. For all the truckers out there in the Northwest, and especially on the western part of Washington and Oregon, it's going to be rain and heavy rain at times. In the middle part of Washington State, it's going to be a rain, snow, winter mix. On over into the central part of the country, in the northern part, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, and northern Ohio is going to be a wintry mix as well into Pennsylvania. Now, the southern states where all the tornadoes and heavy rain and flash flooding is, there's going to be much more of that right now and into tomorrow. Now, the only part that's going to be severe with some snow and icy rough places is Marquette, Michigan. It's under a winter storm warning, and that's through 1 a.m. Friday, which actually is this morning. Now, most places could pick up anywhere from 5 to 9 inches in Michigan, in that area, so be careful out there on the roads. UFO sightings in North America increased by more than 75% from last year. An example is in 2018, a modest 3,395 people in the U.S. and Canada submitted their accounts of UFO sightings to the National UFO Reporting Center. In 2019, that number jumped to 5,971. Pennsylvania is one of the top states actually in the UFO sightings. UFOs have been reported in the skies over Pennsylvania 3,887 times, according to the National UFO Reporting Center, which has been gathering reports since 1947. That ranks Pennsylvania 8th among the 50 states in total reporting sightings of eerie lights, erratically moving aircraft, and mysteriously metal saucers. California is number 1 with 13,559 reports. The top 10 states with sightings per 100,000 people is actually Washington, with 78 sightings per 100,000 people. Asteroid warning. NASA tracks a 4-kilometer asteroid approach, and it could end civilization if that's something that big would hit. Now, an asteroid big enough to end civilization, should it ever hit, will approach our planet in April, NASA's asteroid trackers have found. The asteroid is listed by NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies in California. The asteroid has been officially called 1998 OR2 and is estimated to measure up to 2.5 miles across. An object this big could potentially kill millions of people if it ever hit the planet in the distant future. NASA estimates the rock is heading our way at speeds of about 19,461 miles per hour. At that rate, the asteroid will close in on Earth on April 29th. When this happens, NASA said the asteroid will make a close approach to our planet. And according to the Planetary Society, an asteroid bigger than 0.6 miles across is big enough to threaten global destruction. The ISS cameras capture UFO flotilla in Earth's atmosphere. A whole fleet of mysterious objects was recorded by the cameras of the International Space Station. In a published video, the ISS camera captured the atmosphere of Earth, and after a while, numerous mysterious objects appeared on its background. Some users have decided that these are alien probes that were sent to Earth for reconnaissance purposes. According to others, tests of secret missile weapons fell into the camera lens. There are no comments from NASA experts regarding this video. They generally believe that most of these anomalies are ordinary optical illusions, so no further investigation is required. Mars' organic compounds consistent with life. Scientists believe that organic compounds known as thiophenes could be an indicator of life on Mars. Discovered on the red planet by NASA's Curiosity rover, these compounds can be found on Earth in various fossil fuels, such as coal and oil, as well as in certain types of fungi, such as white truffles. If you find thiophenes on Earth, then you would think they are biological. But on Mars, of course, the bar to prove that has to be quite a bit higher. It is important to note, however, that if biological processes were responsible for the compound, they would have likely existed on Mars in its distant past, not in the present day. Even so, such a discovery would still be extremely significant. Now, if you have a news story you want us to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio, contact us at James, Night Dreams Talk Radio News @gmail.com.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. Good evening or morning, depending on your time zone. From the Pacific to the Atlantic to you worldwide. Get yourself a cup of Java and find a comfy, easy chair. And get ready for Gary and his guest on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. And now, here's Gary.
And here I am. We're going to have a round table. It's going to start in about 5 minutes with Ryan and James. But before, I got a couple wacky news stories just to end the day. Well, a dog is rescued. That's right, off and up a tree. The dog climbed up 20 feet chasing a squirrel and had to be rescued. I didn't even know dogs really could climb trees, but there's one that did. Well, a moose was rescued after falling through the ice in a frozen pond. I don't know if I would want to be the one trying to rescue it, but that happened. Now, a spill of wine. Somehow, and this is a major spill, in a village in Italy, well, all the people in their tap, instead of getting tap water, they were getting wine. Why doesn't that happen in my location? I can tell you, it would be really exciting to be able to, turn the tap on and get a buzz on or something. Well, crocodiles found in Pennsylvania pond. What do you think about that? Not just one, but several.
Several. Sounds like somebody turned them loose or flushed them down the toilet because they didn't want them no more, and they end up in a pond. They're not natural there. They wouldn't. I'm surprised they're living now.
I don't even know. But you know what? A guy decides to walk over an active volcano with a type wire. And he's the first person to successfully ever walk across the crater of an active volcano. I would think the fumes coming out of that volcano would be toxic and kill him. But evidently, I don't know. It shows a picture of him, and he's doing it, and he did it.
He wore a respirator when he did that.
Oh, he would have had to wear something. Well, a checkout clerk's advice earns a Maryland woman $100,000 on the lottery.
Maryland again. We had another winner just yesterday or the day before. Boy, I tell you, these people, they're winning some lotteries big time up and down the seaboard.
Well, you know what? A company offers $1,000 to watch 15 hours of The Office Well, a satellite TV website is offering $1,000 to a comedy fan willing to complete an unusual dream job of watching and analyzing 15 hours nonstop of The Office.
Oh, my goodness. Where do these people come up with this? But I say, hey, sign me up.
Well, you know what? People have a tendency of putting makeup behind the wheel of the car when they're supposed to be paying attention and driving, or they're fixing their hair, or they're putting that, cell phone up to their ear and talking to people, which is all a no-no. Well, Ohio State video from the police of a person that they pulled over wasn't doing any of the above. Oh, no, she was knitting at the wheel while driving.
Knitting. Oh, boy. Next she's going to be inventing the wheel or something really, strenuous. Knitting. I couldn't imagine. Well, maybe she's good at multitasking, Gary.
Well, I can tell you what, if you get a ticket for using a cell phone or putting your makeup, in the state of Washington, if you even went and got a hamburger or a bottle of Coke and you're driving, right, and a cop goes by and they see your hand off the wheel and you're eating that hamburger or taking a swig of that bottle of soda, they're going to pull you over and you got one nice ticket.
Yeah, didn't you tell me somebody you knew last summer or something got pulled over for that?
Oh, yeah. Well, Boeing Aircraft today sent, a lot of thousands of employees home and said if you can work at home by computer, you have to do it because of the virus. Now, Boeing's is a major employer, in fact, the largest employer in our state, to send a large workforce home and saying, well, you know what, you're going to be home for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we was talking about how it's been affecting our economy. I just noticed today, just for a few friends that have a few flights out of country, maybe a couple of them was into Europe and across country, to conventions for business meetings and stuff like that, and they canceled them and shut them down. And some of these took a lot of planning, and a lot of bigwigs were involved, and so that just goes to show you it does affect the economy in many ways. And matter of fact, they raised the point there or yesterday, the percentage, but I don't know, Gary, what's going to happen.
It's scary. You know what? A lot of people keep saying, oh, Gary, you're overreacting. This type of stuff isn't going home. But, a large amount of businesses now are sending their employees home. My daughter works at a hospital, and she was told now she needs to stay out of certain rooms now. You can't go in there. That's it. You just can't go in without putting on a hazmat suit. I mean, that is getting to the point that I don't know if they're overreacting. Maybe they're trying to slow this virus from going around. But in our state, we're up to 7 people that passed.
Yeah, I was just going to say, your state seems to be like ground zero. And, one of the news reports I did on it yesterday is they think that it may be being past the disease. It's already been there. It might have been there up to 6 weeks from, not coming straight from China, from other people in the state. And, yeah, you've had a lot of people infected or exposed more than most people. Matter of fact, your governor, I think, declared an emergency on that.
Oh, yeah, he did, for funding and all that stuff. So it's not just going to be our state. I got a funny feeling it's going to be everywhere. You can't confine it. You can't stop something like this once it starts because, again, some people maybe been infected for weeks and weeks, coming over from, the Orient, coming from China, coming from one of those Asian countries that maybe somebody in the plane was infected and that air circulated around. I have no idea. But this thing is really, really starting to take hold. And when a big company like Boeing Aircraft sends their majority of their employees home and says, quote, if you can work at home on a computer, that's where you're going to be.